everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield. I'm a professional dancer, professional dance choreographer, and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we're taking a look at the elimination battle series between YGX and WeDemBoyz. Now, I do know that WeDemBoyz took a clean sweep from this elimination battle series, so I'm not really going to kind of place my votes on who I think took the battles. I'm mostly just appreciating it, maybe trying to figure out what qualities of both and what they brought to the table, and also seeing a little bit of YGX's growth in this process too, because this is probably going to be one of the last times I am able to see them before they depart the show. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started. Hey, we have Deukie and YGX versus Vata, the leader battle. Here we go. Let's go! Yeah, I'm ready.
Fight.
I'm ready. I'm not ready to fight at all. Vata's going first. Throw the minute right away, you can get lost. Yeah. Smart.
뒤에 친동생들이 보고 있다. 절대 안 돼.
Catching the beats really well. Transitions are looking really nice.
Put my mind on it, then I put my grind on it. Put the iron on them and my opponent. I call 500, I don't put the moms on.
Solid run for Vata. I've only seen him battle but one other time against Youngjae at this point. I love that. Come on. Gotta own it. Own it.
Let's not fake answers and the honest that your hair done. Shot young number one party anthem.
이 정도면 쓴다. 우리 팀원 애들한테 조금 무슨 거
I'm going to take that and put that in my playbook. Goodness, that was... It's strong. Yeah. Okay, so that one's a little bit tougher, but I would have given it to Vata for that one. Let's talk through it. Oh, man. Oh man. Firstly, I really like the fact Vata waited to kind of enmesh himself in the music. It is a tricky beat to get into. There's a chance he was familiar with it, but it's still, you can get lost in the track because there's so many different counter polyrhythmic rhythms happening here, and so I think that's the smartest thing he could have done, because for me, I really struggle with that, because initially when a track comes on, you feel this pressure to have to start immediately. That's just a natural thing, especially when adrenaline happens. You get impulsive. So very smart, because by him choosing to enter in, he was able to had a higher chance of entering into a better headspace to get started. Very, very difficult. Take some time to listen to the track. Now, his connections, a big thing with a freestyle skill set that you want to look for is your transitions matter just as much as the content you give. So not only does Vata have to bring some parts of his skill set that at this point, I really haven't had a chance. There hasn't been a lot of Vata battles that I've had a chance to look at this point in time because of just copyright. Bless it, YouTube. But here, he has to really make sure that his creativity and his stamina within that from the duration of the show. He can't be repeating he can't be repeating movement sequences that we've seen choreographically already, right? We also have to factor in with his transitions, they can't be something too repetitious if it doesn't count for that, if the track doesn't call for that, and if he doesn't enhance it in some way in complexity. But what he does is he melts into this brilliantly. You can tell his transitions look really nice. I know it keeps cutting in and out from him, but it does repeat it enough. I love that boom boom. My only side note though is whenever you choose to hit beats of that kind of succession, you do run the risk of cutting off movement. But what's nice is he uses that to his advantage. People assume it's part of his pocket and his groove, so he has the natural emotional backing of assuming that certain choices he makes are because of his aesthetic and his preference, not because he's cutting things off or that he's insecure about his choices. So that's another thing to note too. There is a level of support in the room from both sides, especially channeling from the previous battles that have happened in the previous episodes. He's also riding the rhythm really well. His transitions look really nice. He's hitting very complex sections of it. I like that do-do-do, and there's a lot of interruptions in how he chooses to go about it. He's also making very complex ways to get from point A to point B. Of course, that's another way to say transition. But his movement quality, his isolating or creating a rock and a bounce, that is like a counterbalance to how he's moving. And that's what really makes it look very captivating. Love that. Woo, woo, woo. And he doesn't stop what he's doing. And I think that's a big downside of what Deukie did, is he would do a move and he would stop the flow. He never stopped. Vata never stopped the flow once. Or if he stopped the flow, it was to switch to a different posture, but it didn't look like a stop. Like, okay, I did my move and I'm waiting for the next beat to hit. He just keeps going until he wants to hit a beat. And that's a really good skill to have. That's something I strive to work through and work on for myself. I love that because he's on the floor, he's making some choices on the floor, he's recognizing that he is on the floor, he's not just trying to get back up to stay up. So he is traveling, using his floor, using the space, also using his levels, utilizing different parts of his music with different parts of his body. Yep, I will say here, I like he goes da 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 da, switches and transfers the body over, but it doesn't look awkward, and he's not stationary. So he's making a complexity of his shift by turning while also cueing his head into his knees into other aspects. So it's really nice. Melt to the floor. I love this. For me, that does remind me. I've already reacted to B2B, one of the guys from Elimination. I think it was during Prime Kings at that point. He did something that was very like, not drunk, but very lazy, but it looked so cool. So it just reminded me of that. Let me also note too, whenever we get to elimination battles, I feel like we get to see an elevation of the members that are participating, because there's an extra adrenaline of I don't want to go home. Secondly, you're also looking towards, they have been around each other for a long time. They've been exposed to each other as a crew, but also other crews. So it's really cool that they're naturally going to take in, your body's going to absorb a lot of other styles subconsciously, regardless if you realize it or not. So I think that's a really big thing too. Everybody's been being influenced by everybody, some more than others. And I think that's why when the elimination battles per se, I haven't seen a terrible elimination battle. I feel like all of the ones that I've watched from season 2, season 1, and in Street Man Fighter, I see there's always such an elevation of quality from everybody compared to when I saw them in battles. And that's what you want. And that's one of the qualities I like about a show like this, is it kind of promotes growth in that way, regardless if that was what they were intending in the show. So now we have Deukie. The only thing that I'm saying about, no, I don't think he's worse than him. I think my only note for him is he was cutting off his grooves. You know, he had really nice moments, but it didn't feel as impactful. Not impactful, like he's hitting it very nice and back up. That was a really nice sequence. I enjoyed it. It did feel like he was trying different things. In a lot of his movements, he's setting up linearly to Vata, where he's going, he does a move, he comes back up to reset before going into something else, and he comes up to reset, and then he goes into something else. So it's that reset that I think is what really is the difference between Vata and Deukie. Because he has really fun moments. I really love that. But do you see what I'm talking about? Like, he neutralizes before he goes into his next thing. The things that he's doing is really fun, but his transition is very, very similar across the board. And that's something that Vata did not show. His transitions were never the same. And that's really, I think, the tipping point for me of why I would vote for Vata. Yeah. Yeah. Where he waits a millisecond or 2 counts or a count to wait for the beat to drop in a different phrase so he can explore a different movement quality, which I love the fact that he's able to have confidence and he's able to explore, and I love his choices in exploration. That's just my one note that I'm noticing here. Yeah, so it makes sense why they picked Vata for that, but Deukie, definitely immense progress from the battles that I have seen him in already. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope I was helpful in some way. I know some of my responses may have been a little long-winded, but I really do love the opportunity to get to grow alongside you guys, and I really enjoy watching these battles. Regardless of results, I think everybody who participates in shows like these, I think they end up growing so much more than they could have ever imagined, and we get to see that and be alongside them in that journey. And I'm excited that I'm in this place where I get to react to it and analyze it, and I feel like I get more out of it because I get to interact with you guys along the way. So thank you again, and I will catch you on the flip side.